Good morning again, everybody. I'm going to make a short talk on functional biodiversity in mango orchards. It's a case located in Réunion Island. And the main results have been obtained during studies carried out in the framework of a project called BioPhyto from 2012-2014. And also most of them are obtained by a PhD work of Maxime Jacot. It was a PhD supervised by myself and by Philippe Tixier. So at the beginning we had some generic questions such as what about the communities of arthropods? What about interaction between the different communities and trophic groups? What about the effect of cultural practices, landscape on the different trophic groups and communities? And how natural enemies can impact on the pest in the regulation service. Just a quick reminder on the different levels of biodiversity. For us, we worked at the ecosystem level on communities, and I remind to say that there are three main components when we talk about biodiversity: composition, structure, and function. Remind also very quick on the link between biodiversity and function. It was the same diagram than Philippe 2 days ago. And we have also to separate the ecosystemic processes, such as, for example, the carbon cycle, the ecosystemic outcomes, such as, for example, production, and the ecosystemic services, such as pest regulations, such as pollination, and so on. So at the beginning, our experimental design was constituted by 10 plot coppers, 10 farms with 10 plot coppers. On one side, agrochemical practices with large amounts of insecticide and herbicides. And on the other side, agroecological practices without herbicide, without insecticide, and with some agroecological practices such as permanent cover crop, for example. The data were collected during 3 years, but only as a photography during the short period, which was the flowering period of the mango. We have worked on arthropod at two strata, at the canopy and on the ground with DVAC, which is a vacuum system to aspire arthropods, both in the canopy and in the ground. And we have added also some pitfall traps. For cultural practices, we have collected the different species of plant in the field, and we have also collected the different informations on the insecticide treatments with an indicator, a French one, which is called ITF, insecticide treatment frequency. And for landscape, we have collected data at a diameter of 800 meters on the different types of habitats. For example, mango orchards, other crops, semi-natural habitats, and so on. So some flashes on the results. I have no time to develop all the topics. We have collected quite, as you can see, a lot of arthropods, more than 120,000 arthropods during 3 years. We have then assigned them to the main trophy groups. And here is just to give an idea of the repartition of arthropods in the different classes and the order of arthropoda. Here it's a result I showed on Monday. Without spraying insecticide and herbicide, with a cover crop, with a vegetable cover, permanent and spontaneous one, we'll get rapidly some large amounts of species. And we identified about 800 morphospecies of arthropod in our orchards. In that, we only found only 4 significant pests. We'll see which one after. Comparing to about 190 species of parasitoids, for example. So it's impressive to see how the beneficial, for example, are coming back as soon as you stop the treatments of insecticide and herbicide. We then have assigned them to the main trophy group. We have chosen them: herbivore pests, of course, detritivores, and of course parasitoids, predators, and omnivores. Here is the repartition of different arthropods in this trophy group, and as you can see, about half of these arthropods were ants, and mostly from one invasive species, Pheidole megacephala, and only 4 species of herbivore pests. About interaction between the trophy group, as you saw before with a presentation of Philippe or on Monday, it can be quickly very complicated. So you can use tools such as modelization or other tools such as, for example, structural equations model and so on. And you have a food web very complicated. It's difficult to study that. In our study, we chosen to test the sense of interaction and, of course, the intensity of this effect. And we try also to measure the effect of plant diversity and the different factors such as insecticide spraying and landscape. And it's just a result on the indicator of richness. As you can see, we found a lot of effects, bottom-up and top-down effects. It means it's a very cascade trend for these food webs and this system of mango. But we didn't find any effect of landscape, any effect of insecticide, but it doesn't mean there is no effect of that. We think it's because our experimental design was maybe not too so powerful to show any effect. We also studied the relation between the diversity and predation. In the literature, in most of the cases, diversity impacts, of course, the herbivores. And we found a very important thing, which is a contrasting effects between predators and omnivores, and especially if you have ants, and especially if you have an invasive species of ant, as you can see. And it can modify quite easily the impact, for example, of some predators which are quite effective, such as spiders. what about factors impacting the pest abundance? As you can see here, we have the 4 main species of pest: bug, mealybugs, mid-edge, and thrips. We have tested by mixed linear models the effects of all these criteria. For example, the diversity of parasitoid groups, predators, omnivore, and also some criteria of landscape, proportion of mango orchards in the landscape, and proportion of semi-natural habitats. And in a final stage, we only find an effect of 2 factors: the diversity of parasitoids and the regulation of on mealybugs, and the proportion of mango orchards on the regulation of on thrips. A positive regulation. I mean, more you have mango in the landscape, more you have thrips in your own orchards. As a conclusion, we have some interesting results in terms of the knowledge on, you can imagine, on arthropod fauna in the mango orchards, but also in arthropod fauna in the cropping system in general in Réunion Island. We have shown a cascade effect, including bottom-up and top-down effects among the different trophy groups and communities. And we have also stressed the role of the invasive species of ant Pheidole megacephala. We have 2 main recommendations that we gave to the actors and the farmers, but they are quite important. First one is to enhance plant biodiversity. I mean, more you have plants in your vegetal cover, more you have a service in terms of regulations. And you have also to adopt a collective approach, agroecological approach, to share between the different producers of mango in a basin of production. And of course, in the framework of research, we have methodological improvement to propose. So, concerning the knowledge on biodiversity, for example, there are some groups we have now a good knowledge: spiders, bugs, coleoptera, including beneficials such as Carabidae. We have found in this context, we have found a new species for science of Carabidae, maybe a new genus. You know, only by collecting some arthropods in some mango orchards during 3 years. We have also several new species or families for spiders for Réunion Island or Indian Ocean. And I would like to conclude my presentation by that, because I think it's important, is the shift, the evolution, the move of perception by farmers of biocenosis is in own orchards. I mean, before, for example, 10 years ago, the farmers were looking on the mango, on the status of mango, on the infestation of mango, and on the pest. In spite of insecticide treatment, herbicide treatments, and with a bare ground. And now, most of them are aware that there are other trophic groups to observe. And as I said to you on Monday, observing is now very important. And farmers are trained to recognize, for example, the different trophy groups. Of course, it takes time, it takes money, energy, but it's important. And now they can recognize. You have seen this morning that Chris showed that a lot of farmers doesn't recognize, for example, ladybirds there is a great effort in Radio Island to make the farmers more competent in this field. Okay, thank you very much for your attention.